Hi everyone, Greeno here and welcome to another episode of Greeno Eats. Now today, you might be able to see behind us, we are in Lyme Regis once again. It's a little bit noisy, we're by the side of the road here though, so you'll have to excuse any noise of cars and stuff. I haven't got a mic with me or anything today, so it is what it is. Now we've actually filmed a couple of episodes here before, if you remember. We did a fish and chips from a place called Herbie's, which is like a little cabin kind of thing down on the seafront. And they also came here and went to the Whole Hog at the most amazing hog roast and donuts. So me and Little 'un, we've been on a camping trip, we're on our way home. Thought we'd nip into Lyme Regis on the way back, see if we can find something to eat. Let's go take a look what's around. So we had a very nice little camping trip, me and Little 'un. We were down not far from Exmouth. We spent the day yesterday at a place called Pennywell Farm. It's like a kids kind of farm park thing where they had loads of goats and animals and stuff. And then we went down to, where did we go? We went to Teignmouth or Teignmouth. I'm never sure how you pronounce that place. I think they call it the Tyne Valley, but the town is Teignmouth. Not sure. Anyway, we went there and that was really nice actually. It was a very pleasant seaside town, not tacky at all like a lot of places are. Yeah, really enjoyed spending a couple of hours down there. Nice walk along the seafront and a nice arcade on the pier. It was really good. The weather has brightened up, as you can see, it's quite nice. So we're having a mooch around Lyme Regis on the way home and it's getting towards lunchtime, so I guess we're going to get something to eat. Maybe that place does good food. I love mooching around Lyme Regis. All these little kind of privately owned shops, very few chains here at all. I just saw a Costa and that's about the only one I've seen so far. Lots of little cafes and eateries. There's a fudge place just up here. Now we're not far down the road from the Whole Hog. It's very tempting, but I think we're going to give it a miss today. Unless Little 'un wants a donut, in which case we might have to pop in. So it's pretty breezy down here today, to be honest. Little 'un made a good choice by going back to the car to get a jumper. So apologies if the mic is picking up sound of the wind. Like I said, I forgot to bring a mic with me, so we're just going off the phone mic. You might be able to see behind me on the horizon there's a load of sailing boats out there in the harbour. That's because it's breezy, but it's still nice down here. Have a little walk along the seafront. Little 'un wants to find an arcade to chuck a couple of quid in, so we'll do that and then we'll see if we can find a bite to eat. So even though it's a breezy old day down here and not your typical August summer holiday weather, it's still a hive of activity down here, as you can see. There's people out there doing a bit of paddle boarding, there's people in dinghies, and as we pan around here, like I said earlier, there's a load of little yachts out in the bay there. People taking advantage of the slightly windy conditions. So it just goes to show the British coast isn't just for roasting hot sunny days. There's plenty of activities you can do even if it's not quite up to scratch weather-wise. So we found the arcade here, as you can see. We spent about £6 in there, and what did we win, Bubs? Some sweets and a weird little donut clip thing. Money well spent, right? You pleased with your prizes? Ish. There we go, folks. We just couldn't resist. We were walking past, poked our head in just to see if they had any donuts left, and yeah, they did. So we got one raspberry, one Nutella, one salted caramel with honeycomb, and one Biscoff. We're going to take them home and share them with the family a bit later on. So we'll try and sneak that on the end of the video, shall we? What do you reckon, Bubs? You looking forward to it? So when you step back off the seafront here in Lyme Regis, there's all these nice little back streets. Really hard to drive around if you get stuck around here, but tucked in here is a place I've heard amazing things about, which is Lyme's Fish Bar. So it's not on the seafront, it's probably only about 50 yards from the seafront though. So check it out if you can. We're going to go and get something to eat from there now. Let's go and have a look at the menu and get the grub. So it's pretty busy, to be honest. We've managed to go in and place our order, and we're given a little ticket here, and then we just wait outside and they'll shout it out when it's ready. And what we've gone for, Little fancied a Savoy. I fancied a pasty. I've not had a pasty from a chippy for a while, so we're going to share some chips, have a Savoy and a pasty. Sounds good to me. And here's the receipt here. You can see we're order number 16. We've got one Savoy and chips. That's coming at £6.70, and the pasty is £5.35, so £12.05 in total. Right, so we're back at the car. Excuse the state of the car bonnet. We were parked underneath an oak tree when we were camping, so it's got a little bit mucky, but I think that on the left-hand side we'll have the pasty in it, and that's going to be the Savoy and chips. I can't wait, I'm starving. Let's get them opened up. Right then guys, so I think they look pretty good. The chips are a lovely kind of golden colour. Let's get one here. You can see there, look at that. Beautifully cooked. A little bit of crisp on the outside. Lovely and soft on the inside. They're piping hot as well. A little bit of salt and vinegar on there. They could have put a bit more perhaps. But yeah, take a look at the inside of that chip. Lovely. They're really tasty. I don't know what variety of potato they're using, but I know it's going to sound a bit weird, but they've got a very potatoey flavour. Some chips you get, they're a little bit bland. I think they've used nice fresh oil here. They've cooked the chips really well. Such a lovely colouring on them. They're very, very tasty. Right, now the bit where I'm going to hope Little is looking in the other direction, because I'm going to pinch a bite off the end of her Savoy. It's a very big, long one, mind, look. So I don't think she can mind too much. It's about as long as a ruler, probably about 30 centimetres. So I'm just going to have a bite off the end of it. I always enjoy a Savoy. It's just got a very, very different flavour and texture to a normal chip shop sausage. A little bit smokier, a little bit pepperier. Yeah, that's good. Little one has now just picked it up and moved it far enough away that I can't reach it from where I'm standing. She's not daft, is she? Right. Time to move on to the pasty. Now, this is a fairly weighty thing. So it's a nicely hand-crimped pasty, as you can see there. Not your Ginsters stuff here. The pastry could be flakier. I'm wondering whether they've just reheated it in the microwave now. I mean, it's not soggy, but it's not crispy by any stretch of the imagination. But let's see if I can get into it. Tear it in half and show you the inside. Give you an idea of what we're dealing with. There we go. So in there you can see lovely pieces of beef in there. There's potato. There's what I think is swede. I don't think it's carrot. But yeah, as you can see, that is piping hot as well. Let's give it a go. Wow. That is tasty. That filling is lovely. All the vegetables are lovely and soft. Not like mashy. Still just about holding their consistency, but they're not hard at all. It's seasoned beautifully. It's got a lovely hint of pepper in there, a little bit of saltiness. You see, I quite like my pasties like this. If you go down into Cornwall, oh, I think I'm falling down on you there a little bit. Let's come down like this. If you go down into Cornwall, it's a lot chunkier in a pasty there. And what you'll sometimes find, to my mind anyway, is the steak gets a little bit chewy maybe, where sometimes it isn't cooked through properly. So if it's diced smaller like this, it's not minced, it's just the small dice, it cooks through better, I think. And of course you've got that lovely little handle that you can eat if you want, or you just use it to hold the pasty, up to you. But yeah, for me, that's a winner. This was £5.35, which sounds a lot for a pasty, I suppose. But then cod and chips was however much it was. A piece of fish is going to be best part of a tenner there. I know you're in a place like Lyme Regis. I know you've got a captive audience, so you expect to pay a slightly higher price. But one of these, for about half the price of a piece of fish, I think you're onto a winner, really. And do you know what? The good thing about coming back to the car park and slightly away from the beach, I can only hear seagulls in the distance. They're not here trying to attack me lunch. Right then folks, so what a delightful little lunch that was. I think sharing a portion of chips between me and Littlin was the right idea. It's perfectly adequate for a lunch for the pair of us, that. She enjoyed the Savoy. She actually did even let me have a little bit more of it towards the end. She tried the pasty too. She said it was alright. She never had one before, so I think, and she's not a big fan of peppery stuff, so that may have been what put her off, but I thought it was excellent. Absolutely delicious. And I think for £12.05 for the pair of us to have eaten lunch and be perfectly satisfied in a place like Lyme Regis isn't bad. Now I had read plenty of reviews online about this place, and it's often the little hidden gems, isn't it, that are the ones you should go to. They're not on the seafront. You're not necessarily going to come across them. They're tucked away in a little back street. But the produce they're firing out was excellent. And I tell you what, enough people had found them because there was a bit of a queue. It took us about 10, maybe 15 minutes for our order to be ready. So it just goes to show people will find quality if it's out there. So my advice, if you're down here in Lyme Regis, stick away from those chippies on the seafront. They're good, but they're not as good as the Lyme Fish Bar, that's for sure. Okay, so that's going to be it from me and Littlin here in Lyme Regis. We're just on our way home from the camping trip, so we've got about another hour's drive, I reckon, and we should be back at home. And then we've got to unload the car and do all that really fun stuff. Anyhow, if you've enjoyed this little video, please click a little thumbs up on there for me. It does help with the channel. And if you're new around here and you're not yet subscribed, why not consider clicking that subscribe button, ding your little bell for notifications, and you won't miss anything that comes up on the channel. But for now, that's it from me. I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.